How do those Republican candidates align themselves with the president when he is back on the ballot?
When he is, and that's one of the challenges for the president as well. Let's go to the White House.
Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President.
Do you have any comments on the CNN ruling a moment ago?
No, just people have to behave, and they have to do, we're writing up rules and regulations to make our position. I think you were treated very unfairly, both of you. I think you were treated very unfairly because you have somebody interrupting you. And if they don't listen to the rules and regulations, we'll end up back in court and we'll win. But more importantly, we'll just leave. And then you won't be very happy.
Mr. President.
Because we do get good ratings.
Mr. President, when you talk about rules and regulations, what do you mean, sir?
Decorum. You can't take 3 questions and 4 questions and just stand up and not sit down. Decorum. You have to practice decorum. You were there, you understood, and you understand. We want total freedom of the press. That's very important to me. It's more important to me than anybody would believe. But you have to act with respect. You're in the White House, and when I see the way some of my people get treated at press conferences, it's terrible. So we're setting up a certain standard, which is what the court is requesting. And always freedom of the press, always First Amendment, but that's the way it is. And we always have the option of just leaving. You know, if we feel that things aren't being treated properly, that people aren't being treated properly, we always have the right to leave. And I think the other media, the other press in the room will not be very happy if that happens. But I've instructed my people, when they're not treated properly, you have the right to just leave anytime you want. Yeah.
Mr. President, China gave a response this week to your trade request. Have you seen that response, and are you pleased with it?
Did you say China?
China, yes, on
Yeah,
trade.
go ahead. Tell me what their response was.
They sent a response with 142 items on trade.
Yeah, that's good.
Just
No,
wondering
China
what
wants
your
to make a
thoughts are
deal.
about it.
Yeah, China, as you know, Jeff, China wants to make a deal. They sent a list of things that they're willing to do, which was a large list. And it's just not acceptable to me yet. But at some point, I think that we are doing extremely well with respect to China. I have a great respect for President Xi. I have a great respect for China. But China has taken advantage of the United States for many, many years. Ron Johnson knows that maybe better than anybody because Ron's a big believer in what I'm doing. And I think that they're going to come in and we're going to either open up China and make it fair, because it's not fair right now. They do very little business with them, and we do a lot of business. You know, it just can't be. Plus, they have tremendous barriers. They have tremendous tariffs on us that we didn't have on them. But that's all changed now. We put on tariffs on $250 billion worth of goods, and we have another $267 billion to go if we want to. We may not have to do that. China would like to make a deal. Our country has done very well, and China, as you know, has not done very well. They've been down 30%, 32%. They've been down very substantially. We have helped create China as we know it today by allowing money to be sucked out of our country by the billions, $500 billion a year in many cases over a long period of time. And we can't allow that to happen. And I think we will have a great relationship with China. Hopefully we'll make a deal. And if we don't, we're doing very well just the way it is right now. We have tariffs coming in on $250 billion worth of goods. And we're talking about billions and billions of dollars a month will flow into our country and has already started flowing into our country that comes from China. So China's never been put in this position, and I don't want to put them in a bad position. I want to put them in a great position. But it's called reciprocal. We have to have reciprocal trade. We can't have trade that's meant for stupid people. And that's the way they took advantage of our country. And we don't have that anymore, and they understand that. And I think a deal will be made. We'll find out very soon.
The list, just to follow up, sir, the list that they submitted, do you think it goes far enough? Are you happy with it?
It's a pretty complete list. It's a lot of the things we asked for. There's some things, there are 4 or 5 big things left off. I think we'll probably get them too. But it's, as you know, it's a very complete list. I think it's 142 items. And that's a lot of items. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
One more, Mr. President. You on Twitter yesterday seem a bit agitated about what you might be perceiving the Mueller investigation.
No, I'm not agitated. It's a
I'm
hoax.
curious.
The whole thing is a hoax. There was no collusion.
But did anything trigger that set of tweets?
No, not at all. No, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the White House. I'm extremely happy with our country. We're doing better on the economy. Maybe it's the best economy we've ever had. They may be the best unemployment numbers and employment numbers that we've ever had. There are more people working in the United States right now at this moment than have ever worked in the United States by far, by far. I'm extremely happy. I'm very happy with almost all of my cabinet. And, you know, changes are made because they're always made, especially after midterms. But it's all fake news. I'm thrilled with the way the country's going. I think on foreign, we're doing very well. We're making trade deals. We just made a deal with Mexico. We just made a deal with Canada. We just made a deal with South Korea that are phenomenal deals, and they were horrible deals before.
But you seemed unhappy with the Mueller investigation, particularly yesterday morning.
No, it's just a continuation. You can go. There should have never been any Mueller investigation because there was never anything done wrong. There was no collusion. There never has been. You would have known about it a long time ago if there was. There was nothing. They should have never had it. They've wasted millions and millions of dollars. There should have never been a so-called investigation, which in theory it's not an investigation of me. But it's, as far as I'm concerned, I like to take everything personally because you do better that way. The witch hunt, as I call it, should never have taken place. It continues to go on. I imagine it's ending now. From what I hear, it's ending. And I'm sure it'll be just fine. And you know why it's going to be just fine? Because there was no collusion. The fact is, I was a much better candidate than Hillary Clinton. I went to the right states. She went to the wrong states. She was not a good campaigner. Obviously, I campaigned very well. And I easily won the election in the Electoral College. 306, I guess it was 306 to 223. That's a big difference.
Can you provide answers, sir?
About what?
To the special counsel? Your lawyers were working with you today on that?
Yeah, it's not, my lawyers aren't working on that. I'm working on that. I write the answers. My lawyers don't write answers. I write answers. I was asked a series of questions. I've answered them very easily. Very easily. I'm sure they're tricked up because, you know, they like to catch people. Gee, you know, was the weather sunny or was it rainy? He said it may have been a good day. It was rainy. Therefore, he told a lie. He perjured himself. Okay, so you have to always be careful when you answer questions with people that probably have bad intentions. But no, it's the questions were very routinely answered by me. By me. Okay.
You mean the special counsel?
Have they been
You
submitted?
mean
To the special, yeah.
And you submitted the answers?
I haven't submitted them yet. I just finished them. As you know, I've been a little bit busy. We've been in Europe. We've been working on various deals. We just finished the USMCA. If you look at that deal, which is one of the great trade deals, you'll see. I mean, you can see how happy our farmers are. We've done a lot of work in the last period of time, so we've been very busy. It's been very, very hard to find time. But it didn't take very long to do them, and they were my answers. I don't need lawyers to do that. Now, you need lawyers for submittal. You need lawyers to go over some of the answers. But they're not very difficult questions. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, President.
President of the United States speaking there after a bill signing ceremony at the White House. Two big significant things out of that. Number one, he commented on the defeat in court today, CNN's lawsuit to get Jim Acosta's press pass restored. A temporary victory. The president says they're going to write new rules at the White House. He says he wants decorum at the White House, and he says he'll go back to court and predicts he'll win. Most significantly, on the substance of the Mueller investigation at the end there, the president says he has finished his written answers to the special counsel Robert Mueller. His lawyers are looking over them and will submit them soon. The president brushing back at any suggestion he needed the lawyers, saying, I answered these questions. The lawyers are here to help me. Matter-of-factly, they're talking about something that we know from sources behind the scenes the president has actually been quite angry about.
No question. He confirmed right there what we've known all week long, that he's been spending so much of his time this week behind the scenes working on these questions. But again, he's going after the Mueller probe, saying that these people have bad intentions here. So I'm not sure what the answer to those questions are. He said they haven't submitted them yet, but he confirmed what we've heard all week long, this is what he's focused on.
The fact that they haven't submitted them, of course, leaves open the possibility that this is going to continue. This is a process that is not done. And, you know, to the president's point about, you know, all my lawyers are just there to help. No, your lawyers are there to make sure that as you answer these questions, you don't actually perjure yourself. You don't provide false information. I mean, to have just the lawyers there as an assistant is a little bit of an undersell.
And it's in some ways contradicting Rudy Giuliani, who told the Washington Post that there were some legal traps here. We're worried about some of these issues. It's a big deal. The president kind of saying, oh, it's routine.